Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you are doing the best that you can right now. I wanted to do a little bit of like an update vlog, a small business sort of update video, because I haven't done one for a little while and I never know where to start with these videos. I don't like to write up a script for stuff like this because I want it to just come from the heart, come from what is on my mind. So go ahead, grab a coffee, a tea, and let's get into it. I think one of my new favorite things that I've had it for like a good month now at least is a milk frother. You know, that little whisk kind of thing, because that just totally changes the game when it comes to your coffee. All right, so I am currently about a month away from my local farmers market starting for the summer. And I do hope to share little clips of that when the market starts, but I get so nervous and self-conscious about like showing anybody else in the video. I'll probably try to avoid that just out of respect for other people. I don't think they want to find out, 6 months down the road that they're in somebody's YouTube video. I would hate that. I think I would hate that. I want to show you a few things that I've been working on. So some of the stuff I already had made like a good, 6 months to a year ago are my scrunchies. I have a whole bunch of scrunchies. And then I also have some bags that I've crocheted, and there's a few plushies that I've crocheted as well. But the current items that I've been working on are, I have been crocheting baskets. These baskets are, they're more of a flimsy basket. They're made from yarn. They're not, super duper sturdy, but they're just a great little organizational tool. I'm making them in a whole bunch of different colors. This one is an acrylic material. This one is actually a recycled tweed. This is a Lion brand retweed yarn. I actually really liked crocheting with this one. If I continue to make baskets like more long term, I may come back to this yarn to get more. But I have some in greens. I have a black and white basket. I have a blue, and I have one at my desk that I'm currently working on. And I'm just working on making these in a variety of different colors for people to choose from. So that's one item that is new for me. Now, I actually did not sell at my farmer's market this last summer because of scheduling conflicts. I wasn't really sure if it was going to work out or not. So another item that I will have that is new for me are corner bookmarks. So I am working on a whole bunch of these. I had bought a whole bunch of material and basically kind of, I want to say, partnered them up with one that kind of went with it. I have a whole bunch more in different prints that are already sitting over my shelf that I need to put away, but I'll just kind of show you, like, that's how they work. This was a dud one that I had done without the interfacing, so it's a lot more flimsy. But that is the idea, though, that you would just put them on the page that you are leaving off on, like that. So helps keep your spot. But yeah, so I got a whole bunch of these that I'm working on. I already have a whole bunch of them made, and I don't know. I kind of got into reading this last 6 months. This was just a really fun thing to make, and I already had basically a whole bolt of iron-on interfacing. So I'm like, I need to use this for something. So that's kind of what I went with. Then my wax melts. First off, I am so sorry to anybody who was like, who subscribed for wax melt videos. I'm not exactly an ideal channel for wax melt stuff because I do too many different things, and because I have kids and I work outside the home, I have very little time to record some of this stuff. And I get very frustrated with myself about this, but it's kind of the way that it is in a sense. So let me share some my wax melt stuff with you guys, because I will have these at my market. This is my previous kind that I was making, okay? And what I started to learn and hear from others is that because it's just this one big thing, people are maybe not loving it quite so much. And it's not that I wasn't getting orders for it or anything like that, but maybe not so much the repeat orders. I did have a couple of really great repeat customers in my shop, but I have made a change. And what I've actually been doing for just for this like next step with my wax melts leading up to the farmer's market, and of course these ones don't look like it, but I'll still show you these. I've been cutting these into fourths and then putting them in these little containers here that I got. This particular one is in a different shape because I had actually remelted this one down, added a little extra fragrance oil because of the remelting it. And so these are actually in different shapes. They're like little gem shapes. But all of my other ones though, I'm cutting them into fourths and placing back in here. Those are a really good size, and so is this one for putting like 2 pieces into your wax warmer, or even 3, but now you don't have to go breaking it up or cutting it up yourself. And the other thing too that was really important about having a different style of container is that these can be stacked on top of each other. So it's a lot easier to display at a farmer's market or even a show, because these were so difficult when I had brought them to a show last fall, and they're just slipping down the entire time on like the shelves that I had. This is a much better approach. So my shop has been in vacation mode for a little while now, and actually I have some updates on my other digital shop, and I want to talk a little bit about some small business stuff. It's allergy season and my sinuses are kind of like clogged, so it's like I can't talk normal in a sense. I actually closed up my digital shop. It was called Healing Mystic Designs. I don't know if you can still find it on Etsy, or if it like you can still find reviews or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But basically this digital shop is a shop I originally started with in 2015. And I actually talk about this in my very first like small business sort of podcast video that I have here on the channel. And it started off as a handmade, then it kind of transitioned into supplies, and then in 2020 it transitioned into digital, just with everything going on over those years. Yada, you know. That's where it went to. And so then for these last 4.5 years, that digital, or that shop was a digital shop. And more recently, these last 4 or 5 months, I just didn't care about it a lot anymore. And I didn't have the same interest in continuing with it. Like, it's not that I don't want to draw. It's not that I don't want to create in that sort of way. There's just so much going on in life. There's just so much for me to do here in my home and with my kids and whatever, that I can't keep up with it. And it just got to this point where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore with this. There's no real reason for me to still have this shop open. Plus, the other thing too is that I had a little variety of digital products. I had stuff for the Procreate app. I had some seamless paper prints and things like that. But you still also would see reviews in that shop that were for those physical product, the supplies and the handmade that I had done years ago. And so it just felt confusing. That was a shop where I had changed the name of it 2 times, I think. It started off as Happy Babe Handmade and eventually transitioned to Healing Mystic Designs, which I didn't even really like. I don't even know why I went with that name. I don't know. It had to do with the fact it kind of went along with Moon Mystic Cottage, and I don't know. whatever. These last 4 years since my divorce have been a time of self-development and improvement and discovery. Well, with that comes a lot of struggle too, because I know that I desire to be creative, and I feel that that is part of my purpose here on this earth, is to be creative and to share that creative expression. And more recently, I realized that my creative expression was sort of thwarted, stunted when I was growing up. Basically, I kind of felt like I was told to not say certain things. I was told to maybe not express myself in a certain way. And that it's now, along with other things too, but it's now having this effect on me as an adult in my 30s that's trying to figure out exactly what that passion is. I know I am not the only one that is in this boat. I know there's a lot of other, especially my generation, millennials, that are having this struggle where maybe they've been in a job for whatever period of time, but they're coming to that realization that like this is not for them. Why am I doing this job, you know? Or they've had multiple jobs over time, like myself. I've had multiple jobs, and just none of them mean a lot to them. None of them are providing that sense of fulfillment, right? Maybe it's providing the paycheck. It's not ideally where you want to be, what you want to be doing. So that's why, you know, people always have their side hobbies and things like that. But for me, it's like, I need to be expressive. I need to be creative, and I need to share that. I've been working on trying to figure out what exactly does that creative expression look like, and I'm still kind of coming into that. I actually really like to sing, and I play piano, and I can play trumpet, and you know, like these different things, and like trying to figure out, okay, how do I go about this? How do I share this with others? So that's something that I'm working on. How to do these videos, what kinds of videos to create. I actually have this whole setup behind the camera here. There's a desk behind the camera here that I decorated with different items that I have, with something that I've made, because I want to record color with me videos. I have the markers, I have the coloring books, I have colored pencils, but for whatever reason, I haven't recorded that yet. Why? To be honest with y'all, some of it is really just schedule and time. It really is, like, because if I can get my kids in bed before 9 or 9:15, then at that point it's like, well, now I'm tired. You know, now I'm tired and I don't want to do any of this anymore. Like, so that's a whole nother problem that I run into. That's my own problem, you know. But trying to figure out what does that creative expression look like for me has been definitely a journey for sure. And please, by all means, chime in the comments if you have been in this same kind of situation, the same sort of struggle, whether it be just figuring out what is your creative expression, whether it's your schedule, whether it's the timing of things, you know. Let me know. Please tell me I'm not the only one in this boat. But that's kind of where I'm at, is I'm just trying to determine, you know, what is it I want to continue to do. I don't know if I got anything else. I don't know if I covered what I wanted to cover in this video. But let me know in the comments below, where are you at with your process? Are you getting ready for a market? Are you frustrated with how things are going right now? Are you struggling with figuring out your creative expression? Please tell me down below so I don't feel so alone. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you got to this point, I appreciate it. Leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.